Where were you? Why did you do that? I needed you. Have you ever been confronted with these questions? Maybe it's from a family member, maybe it's from a parent, a friend. And all of these questions, they point to a failure on your part. Somehow, some way you have neglected your responsibility. You've hurt the relationship in some way. You weren't with another person when you were supposed to be. You weren't for them when you were supposed to be. These things happen occasionally to all of us. There's a story in the Bible as we get closer to Easter that reminds us of questions like this, of maybe even failures and missteps like this. Because whenever these things happen, they can sometimes destroy our relationships. So there's this story towards the end of Jesus' life before he dies on the cross. In Mark chapter 14, this is what Jesus says. He says, "You will all fall away," Jesus told them, "for it is written, I will strike the shepherd and the sheep will be scattered." He's talking to his disciples, this band of friends that followed him around. "But after I have risen, I will go ahead of you into Galilee." Peter declared, "Even if all fall away, I will not." "Truly I tell you," Jesus answered, "today, yes, tonight, before the rooster crows twice, you yourself will disown me 3 times. But Peter insisted emphatically, "Even if I have to die with you, I will never disown you." And all the others said the same. So all of Jesus' close friends, his disciples, those who followed him, Jesus said, you're all gonna deny me and leave me. And all of them, and Peter in a pretty exceptional way said, no, we definitely won't do that. And just 20 verses later, so just not even a full page on the Bible, it says, then everyone deserted him and fled. Everyone left Jesus. They weren't there for him. They were the worst kind of friends in this moment. And Peter who says on 2 occasions, even if everyone falls away, I will not. Or even if I have to die, I will not disown you. On 3 different occasions, he does exactly that. He denies that he was with Jesus, and he denies that he even knows who Jesus is. And the amazing part of this story is in the beginning, Jesus tells them, you will fall away. And he says, but after I've risen, after I've been resurrected and I come back from the grave, I will go ahead of you into Galilee. Jesus knows that Peter and the disciples will leave him, will disown him, and that he'll be alone. He knows that they'll fail. And I would say to you that in many ways, this is the point of the cross. The point of the cross is that God saves us when we can't save ourselves. That God sticks with us even when we don't stick with him. And there's something amazing about that. There's something that makes us go, how is God that good? When I leave him, when I neglect him, when I don't talk about him, and when I deny him, God still speaks into my life, follow me, I want to be with you. I'll even die for you. So you and I, when we're faced in these moments, when we let our friends down and our family down, occasionally we have to deal with how that makes us feel. Because we can begin to feel ashamed of ourselves. Sometimes we feel surprised, like, I cannot believe I did that. And we just churn over that thought over and over and over again. And in our worst moments, we don't just say, I let someone down. We say, I am someone who lets people down. And we begin to wear that as our identity. And Peter, at the end of this chapter, after he's denied Jesus 3 times, the last sentence of this chapter just says, and he broke down and wept. Because he's heartbroken and he's ashamed. And he's just overcome with all kinds of probably unthinkable emotions. But here is the beauty of the cross, is that when you and I, when we fail, when we fall away, when we forget, Jesus never does. Jesus, he doesn't fail. He doesn't fall away from us. And he holds things together in a way that you and I cannot. And so I want to encourage you this Easter, over the next few days, read this story again and see the beauty of who God is. That when you and I don't live up to who we want to be, when you and I fail our friends and even God, and we think to ourselves, man, how could I have done that? God still pursues us. God still wants us. God still wants to be with us. And that's what the cross is all about.